some things I want to show y'all.
So it's pretty early. We're done milking and all those chores, but we're trying to kind of maneuver a little bit of the animals. I have 15 pig, 6 American guinea hog, the long snout. If you remember, it was 3 and 3, which is a blessing. However, with us having 2 other males, George and Bert, we're really needing to look at doing getting some of the males off farm. They're a little too old to cut, so we found a market gardener that is wanting to get 2 of the breeders, 2 of the new little black ones, to breed with. So we're excited to be able to help him start his American guinea hog herd. He's gonna pick up a girl from another farm, and then ultimately that helps us with our males, because we would literally have 6 males on the farm, which is not what we really need. So let's see if we can get these loaded. So instead of hooking this to the truck or my vehicle or the Ranger, we're gonna hook it to the Suburban, Misty's vehicle, because it sits a little higher, and the ball on it that's already on here sits a little higher, so it makes that trailer literally sit like that, to where seriously, the pigs can pretty much walk in.
Well, some things I want to show y'all. First is hard at work. John, that's a lot of time and work, y'all. Okay, another thing I wanted to share with y'all. We're all about trying to find some deals, and if you're not familiar with any consignment stores in your area, a lot of times you can find some really awesome deals there. So we have a really nice consignment store in our area. They were doing a wall-to-wall $5 sale on everything in the store, or fill a bag for $40. So I went in today and I didn't quite get my bag all the way full, but fill a bag for $40. So this is an example of a name brand Matilda Jane. No, this is not Matilda Jane. This one is Millie J, which is another name brand outfit for Livy. And I got all the girls plus Jennings and myself some things to just kind of refreshen our closet for a really good deal. $40, y'all. We usually spend more on that on like going out to a restaurant to eat for one time. Okay, this is what else I wanted to show y'all. A lot of peas and beans.
Actually a little bit easier than I thought it would be. I couldn't have done it without Aiden though. So for instance, there's the 2 boys, and actually one of them is actually my bigger one, but he loaded so well, and with me trying to switch it out, it's just too hard. So we've got one little boy left in here as a breeder with these 3 girls, and then of course we have the feeder pig, which is Ernie. We'll be killing off Bert, which is another feeder pig. Aiden's the charger on. You can turn it off. Yeah, let me turn it off. Straighten that one up a little bit. Now we have the 3 girls with 1 boy only. The 3 boys, it's not that they were being terrible. They're actually very docile pigs. But it was like they spent more time kind of, you know, hitting up on each other, trying to show manliness and who's the alpha, instead of trying to breed them. So we've got these 2. They'll be going to another farm, actually a market garden farm that is big in our area. And we're excited to see them kind of grow out there. You know, it gives us still our male for this group, our male for that group. And then right now we have 2 males that are breeders over here, but George is pretty much going to weed out. Aiden's ready to weed him out because he gets a little feisty and stubborn, doesn't he? I really never used our pig board, but I did this day. and it worked out phenomenal. So if you don't have a pig board, you need to get one. I can't remember where I got mine. I'll have to link it down below, but it worked phenomenal. It's actually the bigger pig board, as you see. Most people use the smaller one, but this one is the bigger one, and it really works. It helped me kind of weed through them easier. Instead of me kind of doing my feed or the bucket, it just was a lot easier. So I was very pleased with that. It took us only about 10 minutes to separate pigs and load them, which is a pretty good chore when you herding pigs, especially so many pigs. Essentially, we're gonna put all the American guinea hogs together, so we're only rotating 2 sets of pigs versus 3, because right now it is kind of challenging. The only thing we can't do is I don't want to put all these new pigs with George yet, because that again get me 3 male pigs together, and George is not used to this other little male. I'm scared he'll hurt him until he gets a little bit bigger, so I want him to grow a little bit. We actually have to name him now since we have 1 boar there. So we got, this is Big Red right here, isn't it? And then of course George and Bert, so we have to name the other boar because he's old no name. See, the pumpkin patch is starting to really come up well. Excited about that. We're gonna be planting some wheat, some cereal rye, and some field corn. Now the wheat and the cereal rye will wait till closer to cooler weather. They're gonna help hopefully feed nutrients back to the soil. But on the other side, we're gonna plant some field corn. Guys, if you don't realize the price of feed, and when you think about corn, which is field corn, which is maize, and also just basically for feed and milling, it's going up. It's going up tremendously. If you look at Argentina, you look at Brazil, you look at even America, a lot of times you can look at the commodity market, and the commodity market is way down this year. So that's going to make the food prices go up for not only us, but also for our animals. So we are trying to grow a field corn crop this year. We've never grown field corn. We've always grown sweet corn, and this year we're going to try field corn, because again, what we're going to do is hopefully have enough for the animals. Not really that we're doing silage, or not that we're doing some kind of, you know, phenomenal cool feed. We're just going to literally cut it off in stalks and give it to them. It's just excess work, but we do think that's probably the wisest thing to do, to have some food for the animals.
20 gallons up here and another 5 down here, and I wanted to show y'all what I'm doing. So I am coming down, and after we're picking, I just threw some blankets on the floor, and I'm just kind of spreading these guys out because it is so hot and humid down here in the south. If these stay piled up on top of each other for very long, the bottom ones would totally ruin. I'm gonna get these kind of spread out. So as over the next few days, I began to work on shelling these. I don't have the other ones going bad. And as you can see, this is gonna be a lot of hours of work, but we will have some fresh eating now and some fresh eating for this winter. I plan on canning all of these. Great harvest. This is our second picking, and we have a great harvest, so we're super excited about that, and our fingers will be very sore by the end of next week.
Sheep are doing good. We're moving them daily now. They have hardly no grass here. Remember, this is that field that's not growing real well, so we need the sheep fertilization and them kind of scavenging among it. What we're gonna do, just so you know, our plan is where they've already been. Every day they're gonna rotate. We're literally gonna do it like we're doing a yard. We're going to go ahead and put new seed down, put a heavy water on it, because if you know, those nets are not that big, so we can water one whole section with a sprinkler pretty much within an hour or two. So that helps us control the water that it's getting, and then also we can try to grow these fields, because right now we have 5 acres sitting here and we're not really utilizing as much. And it's not for any reason other than we grew a great crop of rye here for winter feeding, but for summer the Bahia and Bermuda did not take real well to this new ground. Remember, just about 7 months ago this was forest, guys. Complete forest. It looked like that. So we're trying to get forest to pasture within a year without tilling, without disking, and without fertilization. That's pretty hard, or conventional fertilization. We have a lot of weeds still growing, some forage growing. We do have some good stuff growing that cows and sheep will eat, but we don't need fields of that. We need Bahia and Bermuda growing instead of all the weeds all the time. Like, these fields are gorgeous, and they have 2 or 3 different kind of grasses that all are palatable for the cows or sheep. These still have a good bit of weeds in them, so we're gonna start trying to, as we rotate the sheep, lay down good high quality seed, and then ultimately try to get water on it daily in each new area. Try to get that seed bank established before we get into the winter months.
Lunchtime has come, and I went out to the garden and got an overgrown zucchini and picked a few little squash. I have some poppy seed chicken on in the oven with homemade cream of chicken in it with some sour cream. So now I am just slicing up some squash and zucchini. I have our butter. This is butter from our raw milk that I have thrown over into the pan. And now I'm just going to take some squash and zucchini and lightly saute them with some salt and pepper and some garlic on them and throw them over in the pan. There's absolutely nothing like fresh vegetables that come out of the garden in the summertime. Also on the menu for today is fresh cucumbers, and I'm just going to peel these and cut these up into slices and add salt and pepper and stick them in the refrigerator until we're ready to eat.